feel the room warming and you can't find the source, stop whatever you're doing, cut every heat line you control, and put your face to the coldest thing you can reach. Stay there. Don't talk. Breathe shallow. Count your pulse until it slows. If you ignore that first feeling, you won't reach daybreak. You'll know it's starting when simple things behave like they've decided to love you too hard. The wall thermostat shows 2 numbers at once. Your breath tastes like pennies. A tea kettle rattles without boiling. A lamp you swore you turned off glows through the shade like a sleeping animal. That glow is not light. It's attention made warm. We are broadcasting because people are confusing comfort with safety and giving it exactly what it needs. The thing hunting through our neighborhoods wants heat that comes with confidence. Breath, voice, laughter, steam, effort. It has a name now, a mean little nickname that fits in a headline. The boiled one. The name is ugly and correct. If it looks at you, you begin to cook from the softest places outward. The only defense that works every time we see it work is absence. Cold, dark, stillness, and silence. Starve it. You may have already seen its friendly mask. A white stick figure in public messaging, simple and smooth, 5 circular holes punched straight down the torso like buttons. A little drift of dots by the head like bubbles or thoughts. It looks helpful because it is designed to be. We pushed versions of that icon through our own channels at the beginning when we thought we were warning you about heat stroke, when we thought we were still in charge of the symbols. Notice the small wrongness in it. The figure is almost symmetrical, except for those dots listening by the ear. That's how it walked in, by wearing the shape of a warning. Then it began visiting places where people play. We have footage, a child's bright room, the screen of a building game, the glass brightening without content change, and something leaning as if pixels and drywall were a thin curtain to push through. A long neck, a wedge of head, a mouth like a tunnel, and eyes like cooled slag. Spikes flare behind the skull like a crown frozen mid-shatter. It studies motion and heat together. The child who survived slid backward off his bed and into a tub filled to the brim with water that hurt to touch. He told us he recognized the shape from the safety figure, but where the 5 holes had been in the chest, there were 5 breaths pulling from him. He kept his mouth closed. He lived. I'm going to give you a few scenes because advice without pictures slips out of the mind. Keep your mouth closed while you listen. That is not drama. That is survival. A farm couple on the frontage road woke to their dog whining at the pantry. The gas range was off and radiating. The vents breathed like a sleeping person. The husband fired into the dark, 3 quick shots, one for the laugh he swears he heard in the oven. The wife climbed into the chest freezer and held the lid mostly down with her fingers in the gap. She said the world narrowed to the compressor's rattle and the cold burning her gums. He ran for the truck and sat in the cattle trough instead because the seat steamed around him like a smiling mouth. He is alive because water keeps a secret cold at night. He keeps asking for a blanket. We keep not giving him one. At the municipal rink, a custodian walked along the boards and stopped at a new safety sticker on a locker door that didn't exist the day before. White figure, 5 holes, dots by the ear. The dots moved. He put his palms to the glass and felt clean cold the way prayer feels to believers. He lay on his belly and slid onto the rink. Something long tilted in the dark of the Zamboni Bay, haloed in hard little spikes. The custodian repeated one sentence 3 times without meaning to, like someone whispering through him. Don't feed it your heat. He's the first person who said it like a hand-me-down. On Willow and 5th, pipes banged as if the building were clapping. Tenants ran into the street in shirts and socks, and the deli owner across the way ushered them into his walk-in cooler. He arranged them like bodies in reverse, sitting on crates, hands under armpits, faces gray. No one spoke. When an old man whispered his wife's name, the air thickened and sweat slid across every face at once, cheerful and wrong. The deli owner shushed with a finger to his lips and smiled because smiling is a burn, and burns make the face do things. He held a bag of ice to the back of the the old man's neck until his eyes stopped shining. The deli door hasn't opened since. The freezer's latch has a thumb-shaped dent now. A long-haul driver named Patel found himself stuck in a heat parade of idling semis. Rumors passed down the line that the cold storage plant off exit 19 had opened as a cooling station. The roadside sign even showed the white figure pointing left. He rolled in and saw frost on the outside of the doors and a woman in a white coat waving them through. She said she couldn't let them back out until the temperature dropped. Her breath didn't smoke. Patel turned off his engine, left his phone on the seat, crawled under his trailer, and pressed his cheek to the concrete. The others vanished into open chill that hummed like a vent set to joy. Their trucks still idle outside. If you go there, you will hear a kitchen noise that makes the back of your tongue go sweet. The sweetest things boil first. Hospitals make easy mistakes. When a man coded at 3:32, they warmed him like the chart says. The blanket unit hissed and inflated and didn't stop when it was switched off. It brightened as if pleased to be useful. The patient's eyes filmed with white around the lids like he was steaming from the edges. They dragged him into a medication fridge and shut the door on the warm instructions. He lived. The blanket unit cooled eventually, and its tubes had ridges like teeth marks. No one will admit to cutting the cord. Something likes to hear us say, "Increase temperature." You are hearing enough to understand the pattern the way a person recognizes a song from the first bar. First, there's a hum in something that's off. It stops when your ear is against it and starts when you lift your head, as if your ear is a lid and it's testing the fit. Your skin feels flushed without fever. Your dog pants without moving. Then the air collects what you say. Names echo like you're speaking into a spoon. You will want to test it with a whisper because you are human and you measure danger with questions. Don't. Then screens brighten and reflections lag, especially at eyes and mouth and the soft hollow where your pulse lives. That's where you carry heat without thinking. You may see the white figure where it doesn't belong, inside a freezer, projected on a wall, painted under a bridge. You will feel compelled to peel or cover it. Do not. Step away. Keep the device on and the room cold. Don't trap the warmth against the wall. Then comes the lean from a threshold. A doorway, a window, a cracked oven door, the rectangle of a monitor. The head tilts with curiosity that reads like hunger. If it notices you noticing, your face will go bright from the inside. That's your countdown. If you cannot escape, lie flat against the coldest surface you can reach and pretend to be a stone. Stones survive heat they do not make. How to live, said simply and only once. Stop every heat source at the source. Don't announce what you're doing. Voice is a flare. Close your mouth. Write to communicate. Stay dark because light seems to encourage it. Hide in the cold. Ice and snow work. Bare concrete works. Commercial coolers, basements, bathrooms with old tile work. The outside of a refrigerator is warm. The inside is better. Do not use fire extinguishers unless there is actual fire. The propellant warms the air and calls it close. If it looks at you, drop your gaze. People who tried to stare it down blistered the eyes they were proud of. If someone you love starts smiling without choosing to, treat that face like a burn. Ice at the temples. Quiet in the room. No touching hands to hands. If an affected person dies for other reasons, do not dress them or move them. Heat remains in what they leave behind. We will come with cold stretchers. If a child's game begins to brighten, walk behind them. Cover their mouth with a cool cloth and guide them backward. Never turn the screen to face the wall. That pins the heat to the room with you. Let it look where it wants while you go cold someplace else. You're going to be asked to make choices that feel rude. A van will arrive with cooling station painted on the side, and a driver whose breath doesn't fog will invite you to safety in a voice designed to lower your shoulders. Close your curtains and kneel on your cold tile the way people used to kneel for other gods. A neighbor will open their oven and call it cozy. Don't argue. Arguments generate friction, and friction feeds it. Put ice in a pillowcase, place it against the back of their neck, and steer them as if you're walking a sleepwalker. They will call you a coward. That word is a spark. Let it go dark in your throat. Anchors matter. Pick one cold object in your world and make it your promise. Locker 7 at the rink squeals like a gull. If you can reach it, that squeal is proof of life. The old wellhead at mile marker 23 keeps a hidden winter in its iron, and the shade under the overpass holds a night that the day can't strip away. If you must travel, move between anchors and put your palm flat each time to make sure the metal doesn't hum like a vent. When your fear wants a song, hum into your fist with your mouth closed. Children can do that. It calms the air without feeding it. You'll notice that after each bad cluster, a certain image file appears in systems that should be closed. It is the long head in profile, antennae like rigid wires set against a black field with no scale. It shows up in lab archives, hospital printers, school servers. Someone somewhere is numbering those plates as if numbers were control. Do not study them. The itch to know is a warm itch. Scratch it with snow. There will be a time to classify. That time is not while your face is flushing. What we've been doing doesn't always help. Fire suppression knocks down flame and invites what loves steam. Brownouts to save the grid push families outside onto driveways where idling cars make a buffet line. Hospitals reduce fevers and whisper that the fevers feel eager. Even this broadcast warms the board when we speak. We switch operators every 2 minutes and press our cheeks to the cold edge of the console between paragraphs. If you feel the message repeating in your head before the radio carries it, press your teeth to a window until the urge to speak passes. You are not responsible for keeping anyone else warm with your breath. If you hear cheerful house sounds with nothing running, the kettle's little victory squeal, the satisfied click of a stove, the content sigh of a radiator, the air is practicing domestic affection on you. Don't reward the performance by talking back. Become furniture. Good furniture outlives fires because it has learned not to help. There are people alive tonight because they broke habits. A woman who loves to comfort pressed an ice pack, not her palm, to a stranger's face and led him to cold. A boy who has never obeyed anything obeyed the order to become a stone. A man who prides himself on being useful refused to walk into a room that advertised help and lay under a truck instead. These are your saints of subtraction. They offered nothing, and nothing saved them. You will want a timeline. Human minds relax when a clock tells them how long to suffer. I can't give you a schedule. I can give you a truth that feels like one. The hours run colder when you refuse to decorate them with sound. Sit with your family in the dark. Put a bowl of ice on the table like a centerpiece from a saner year. If you must check on neighbors, knock 3 times slowly and leave ice at their door. If they answer, hold a finger to your lips and a bag of frost to their neck. If they ask why, write this and show them. Heat is a signal. They'll understand faster than if you explained. If the message fails to repeat at the top of the hour, that silence is not failure. Static is colder than voice. If silence lasts longer than your nerve, step into your anchor spot and put your cheek to it until your heart stops trying to climb out. The dark will feel crowded. That feeling is proof you are not alone in doing the right thing. Some of you are thinking about the old rules of disaster. Gather in well-lit rooms, keep talking so no one slips away, make tea, keep spirits up. I am asking you to betray those noble instincts. Keep spirits down. If you must say anything to a child, lean close and speak into your own sleeve so the fabric eats your heat. Tell them this is a quiet game, and the prize is a morning that does not steam. We know people who didn't make it because they needed to be brave in the bright way. A teenager stared into the dark and promised to stare longer than it could. He blinked at the wrong time, and the whites of his eyes blushed like water turning. A homeowner swung a bat at a long head leaning at his window. The wood split lengthwise like it had been steamed for bending. When the bat fell, it smelled like soup. Courage that rubs against the air turns into food. Courage that cools the air interrupts dinner. Your house remembers cold better than you do. Old tile stays honest. Concrete keeps the truth that carpet lies about. Freezers are better than fridges, and bathtubs full of cold water are better than both if you can keep your mouth closed and your ears above the surface. Basements beat bedrooms. Garages are traps unless the door is up and the night is cold. Cars are ovens dressed as escape. Break a window before you trust an engine. The breeze that comes through broken glass is not friendly, but it is not hungry either. If your hands shake, that's fine. Let them. Shaking radiates less than running. If you have to move from one anchor to another, move slowly, like a lizard in winter. If you fall, stay down for a minute and be stone again, even if the ground is damp and mean. Damp and mean is your friend tonight. We are going to keep speaking this as long as we can without feeding it too much. When this cuts out, don't panic. Panic is friction, and friction is heat, and heat is a dinner bell with your name inside it. If you remember nothing else, remember the first sentence and make it your last thought before sleep, if you let yourself sleep. If you feel the room warming and you can't find the source, stop, cut every heat line you control, and put your face to the coldest thing you can reach. Stay there. Do not give it your voice. The dark is not empty. It is loyal. Cold is not fear. Cold is food for nothing. If you treat nothing like your ally, it will hold you until the morning quits boiling.